guys, welcome back to my channel. So I decided to do these straight back braids on my TWA. Now I haven't done a protective style in a really long time, so I decided to show you guys how I did it. And yeah, so I started off by just parting my hair straight down the middle, and I try to keep it as straight as possible. I'm gonna just show you guys how I do it, and then I'm gonna do the part off camera. It was just very easy for me to do off camera. You're definitely gonna need a lot of clips for this hairstyle if you have short hair like mine, because you're gonna need to make sure that you clip away your hair that is not needed. So I'm just still parting it straight down the middle, taking my time, making sure my part is super straight because that's important for this hairstyle. So you're going to need at least 2 mirrors so you can see the front and the back of your hair. In this video I use my handheld mirror as well as my full length mirror, which is off camera, but this makes it a lot easier so you can see what's going on in the back. And I'm going to use my Shine Jam to make sure that my part is super straight, and this is how it's looking. So I'm just going to clip away one side for right now. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to Tiece TV and also hit the notification bell button so you're notified when I post a video. Now I use the pre-stretched hair in the number 2 and also number 30 as well. All the details will be linked in the description box below. I have combined the number 2 and the number 30 together because my hair still has that bronze look to it. So as you can see, I'm just taking little small pieces of hair and I'm adding that to my rack. Now if you do not have a rack, you don't necessarily need it, but it does cut down time so you don't have to kind of pull the hair, and it's just too much. It's too much work. So I'm just adding all my hair to the rack, and I'm gonna start off with adding just a few braids in the back of my head. This just allows my hair to not have too much tension when I braid straight down. My neck area tends to get a little sensitive, so I'm just kind of doing the knotless braid method. Later you'll probably end up seeing that I ended up taking these braids out because it still was just too much tension on the back of my hair, and you really wasn't going to see it anyway, so I ended up taking them out later. But if you do have a little bit more length in the back, this will be great for you to do, so that way you don't have to worry about any hair being pulled from braiding your hair straight back, because that neck is, I'm telling you, it's trouble. I'm going to show you a little bit closer of how you can do the knotless braid, just in case you don't know how to do it. Adding in the hair between my index finger and my thumb, continue braiding, and add the extra hair in there. So it's really easy. I do have another video, if you have not seen that already, how to do knotless braids. If you need to see more of how you add hair or how to do the knotless method, just check out my other video. It'll be in the description box below. And I'm so sorry y'all if I sound so tired and just nasally. I'm just getting over a cold, so bear with me. After I finish doing all 4 of my braids in the back, I'm going to go ahead and start parting my hair. Now this is a little tricky if you're not really sure how to do straight back braids. So you want to start with making sure that you create a part that is going to be equal to however big or small you want to do the braids. Now I know I wanted to do my braids really small, so I just made sure that I created a part that was going to be even for the rest of the braids, if that makes sense. I'll show you later on. While creating your part, just make sure that you go straight down in the back of your head and try to create your part smaller as you go towards the back of your hair. Now I'm just pulling out a little bit of my edges because y'all already know, as you can see, I really don't have much edges to work with anyway, and I don't want to break off what I am trying to grow back. So I'm just keeping out some edges, and I'm just going to add some shine and jam to the rest of my hair in the part, so that way everything is smooth and everything is going to be neat. This is to ensure that you have really neat braids. Now I part a really small section in the front, and I'm just going to start braiding my hair about maybe 4 or 5 times with my own natural hair. You know, just to give it that more natural look and not adding the hair anytime soon. And I'm just going to add the black hair first. I'm going to add a few pieces of the number 2 hair, and then I'll start adding my colored hair in there as well. Now I noticed that the colored part of my hair doesn't really start showing until you get towards the middle of the braid, which is why I added the two-tone hair later on in the braid. Now adding the weave into your hair is kind of sort of like how you do your the knotless braids. So you just continue braiding your hair as normal, and you add your hair to the pointer finger and to the thumb, and you just kind of continue braiding as usual. And it's very important to check throughout the parting to make sure that the thickness of how you're parting your next braid matches up with the thickness of how you parted the previous braid. So it's just to make sure all of them are even. And boom, y'all, I did half of my head. I'm so sorry. I was actually like rushing to get to a party this night, but I did half of my head just to show you guys what it looked like. And then I'm gonna do the other side, but I'm gonna leave 2 braids to show you how I did it. And boom, y'all, I know I did these really quick, but I had somewhere to go, so but I'm gonna show you a close-up on how I braided the hair. And yeah, so I just make sure that the part is really neat all the way down. The part did get a lot smaller as I went down, and I'm gonna add my shine jam and make sure I brush it out really good. Now for the braid, I'm starting out with a little piece in the front. I have 3 pieces of my hair, and I'm just gonna start braiding my own natural hair for the first maybe 4, 5, or 6 times. So right about there, and then I'm gonna start adding some weave. Now really small pieces is important, so you want to keep that natural feed-in look. You just put them in between your index and thumb, and you just continue braiding. Now, as you can see, the thickness of the braid is pretty consistent, so it's starting to get a little small right here. So I'm just adding a little bit more here right in between my index and thumb. I left one piece out and I continued to braid, and then I added the other piece right back in and continued to braid. I hope this makes more sense. Now that the braid is like super thick at this point, there's no need for me to add any more hair until I get towards the end of my head. So as you can see right here, I have an extra piece of hair and I'm just folding it right on end and continuing to braid as normal. Alright, so I did my edges, I'm done. I'm just adding some foam just to kind of make sure all the fuzzies are down. All of my hair that may be sticking out is laying down flat. And for my edges, in case you wanted to know, I use the Got To Be Glue gel, and I'm pretty much just gonna wrap this foam all throughout my hair. I'm gonna wrap it, I'm gonna dip my ends in some hot boiling water, and that's about it. This to set for at least about 10 minutes. I actually kept it on a little bit longer, but you want to let this sit on your head for about 10 minutes just to make sure that everything is setting properly and it's gonna look fabulous when you take it off. And that's it. I did end up filming this a week later. If you guys want me to do a video on how I maintain my braids, just let me know in the comment section below. But this is the finished product. I'm really happy with how everything came out. I was a little bit skeptical, but my hair did last pretty well this past week. So I do plan on doing some more protective styles for TWA. So if you have any suggestions on any hairstyles you want me to try, let me know in the comment section below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Till next time, bye.